Okay. Yeah. My question was for the IRS representative. I put in an amended tax return either late last April or sometime in early May, and it was a very straightforward amendment. There shouldn't be any problems, and I still have not received my refund. And it's going to be a year here pretty quick. And I'm just wondering, how can I expedite? Is there a way to expedite to get the IRS to get my refund back? Because I really need that money. What is your suggestion, Congresswoman?
I'd like to now talk a little bit about the IRS, and I'm grateful to our IRS guest, Ms. Martinez, for being at this town hall to answer your questions. If you have ever had your call go unanswered by the IRS, or have had to wait weeks or even months and years to find out about your refund, you know just how understaffed the IRS is. The agency has struggled to process millions of tax refunds due to staffing shortages, resulting in tax refund delays for many of you. And we know how important those tax refunds are, especially in our community. Last year, my office opened 110 IRS cases. Thankfully, we had an 89% success rate, ensuring that your issues are resolved in a timely manner. But many of those issues likely could have been resolved quickly without you having to wait for congressional intervention. My office has seen how this issue impacts our families, and I'm proud to say we've been able to help many of you. But in order to provide the IRS with the resources it needs to do its job, last year, Democrats passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which President Biden has since signed into law. The bill provides $80 billion in funding to help the IRS hire agents, improve the agency's customer service and technology so that filing taxes is a lot easier for you. But more importantly, something that we should realize is that in addition to being understaffed, 50% of the agency's personnel is retiring in the next 5 years. So if we didn't do something, it would have been even harder for you to get answers and to get your refund. This Congress, the first bill Republicans passed in the House was to undo the investment in the IRS that we had achieved last Congress. Republicans are also pushing to advance their Fair Tax Act, which would institute a 30% national sales tax and would abolish the IRS completely. A 30% national sales tax. I want you all to imagine that. Right now we are paying 8.25% tax in our sales taxes. They want to increase that to 30%. That would increase the costs of essential items like clothing, appliances, over-the-counter drugs, and other healthcare items that El Pasoans and Americans need. Under this bill, if you buy something that costs $100, you would pay an additional $30 national sales tax. Not to mention, abolishing or defunding the IRS could mean delays in tax returns, issues with processing, and basically inaccessibility when it comes to customer service. Now, speaking of the Inflation Reduction Act, I'd like to highlight some incredible incentive opportunities that you and your loved ones can benefit from. This bill is the most significant action Congress has taken for clean energy and climate change in our nation's history to address climate change. You can visit whitehouse.gov/clean energy to find out how you can save money by installing new electric appliances, weatherizing your home, installing solar panels, or buying an affordable electric vehicle. These incentives can help you save money, so please contact my office if you need more information. In addition to the clean energy incentives, the Inflation Reduction Act also caps your out-of-pocket costs of insulin at $35 per month if you are a Medicare Part D enrollee, and that started this year. A similar cap will take effect in Medicare Part D in July of this year. Finally, this bill also lowers prescription drug prices in Medicare through price negotiation with manufacturers. So stay tuned on more news for that. Now, as we begin the new year, I'd like to remind all of you who receive Social Security that you may see up to an 8.7% benefit increase. You should have received a letter from the Social Security Administration detailing your specific benefit for the new year. But if you didn't, you can verify your increases at ssa.gov/myaccount. I'm committed to continuing to deliver on the promise of protecting and strengthening your Social Security. And I will continue to do everything in my power to stop Republicans from cutting your Social Security and Medicare earned benefits as they look to cut spending. Now, you might have seen the December jobs report. President Biden has continued to deliver on his economic plan to rebuild our economy and strengthen our labor force. The first 2 years of this administration has been the strongest 2 years of job growth on record. There are record low unemployment rates, especially for Hispanic and Black Americans, and the unemployment rate for people with disabilities has never been lower in our country's history. In December, the unemployment rate fell to 3.4%, the lowest in the last 50 years. In January, 517,000 jobs were created, which is incredible. This progress has been made possible with the leadership of President Biden and all of us who passed legislation that revived domestic manufacturing, is investing in clean energy, and rebuilding our nation's infrastructure. Now, as I bring my update to a close, and before we hear from our guest speakers and then take your questions, I want to remind you that in addition to the work that we're doing here in Washington, my district office in El Paso at home is there to provide help with federal agencies. The office is located downtown at 221 North Kansas, Suite 1500, but you don't have to go to the office to get casework help. You can get information and actually fill out your digital privacy release form on my website at escobar.house.gov. We can help you get information on your issue with the IRS, Social Security, the VA, the Passport Agency, the Small Business Administration, and many others. Dirk, I'm ready for the next call.
Yes, ma'am. And anybody who has a question you'd like to ask, now's the time to press *3 to get into the question queue. Again, press *3 to ask a question. Next up, we've got John joining us from El Paso. John, welcome to the call. Go ahead with your question.
Is that me?
Yes, sir, it's you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. My question was for the IRS representative. I put in an amended tax return either late last April or sometime in early May, and it was a very straightforward amendment. There shouldn't be any problems, and I still have not received my refund. And it's going to be a year here pretty quick, and I'm just wondering, how can I expedite? Is there a way to expedite to get the IRS to get my refund back? Because I really need that money. What is your suggestion, Congresswoman?
Well, I'm going to let the IRS guest answer that question, but I would also encourage you to reach out to my office first thing in the morning. The number is 915-541-1400. Or the other thing you can do, John, is go online to my website, escobar.house.gov. We need you to fill out what's called a privacy release form. So we need your permission, and that's what that privacy release form is for. We need your permission to inquire with the IRS on your behalf. So please let us open up a case for you. But we just need that privacy release form. But I want to ask our IRS expert if she has anything to add.
Thank you. Yes, basically, what the Congress office is going to do, they're going to go and forward that form to our office, and we're going to go and look into that. You can always call us directly at 915-834-6512, or you can call the 915-834-6527. You can call one of those numbers, and we can help you as well. So you can do either one, or you can do both. But the Congresswoman, once they get that, which is a privacy release form, then they get forwarded to us. We go and look in the case and we can give you an explanation. It will go step by step what we can do for you.
Thank you, John, for your call. Dirk, I'm ready for the next question.